The movie started after Yuri Boyka, the former defending prison fight champion, was stabbed to death after losing to George Chambers a few years ago. Due to the severe injury, Boyka's power is now diminished, and the warden, Dmitry, and the guards, who made him the janitor, have also been dismissed. Even though Boyka is no longer a fighter, mixed martial arts matches are still held at Chornya Kolmy prison, where Vladimir Saikov is the strongest fighter, and Gaga is his sponsor. This mafia boss is the former promoter of Boyka and Chambers. After the fight, Boyka, who now looks different, sits in the corner of the prison where Gaga and Dmitry passed by. One of Gaga's subordinates, who met Boyka from his slow walk, offered him money, which he immediately refused. Meanwhile, Gaga's prison tournament business is expanding in an inter-prison martial arts tournament, called Prison Sports Competition or PSC, where the best fighters in the world are gathered to compete for prizes, where they will erase all criminal records and early release. When Gaga told Boyka about the inter-prison martial arts tournament, and he will have a preliminary round at Chornya Kolmy prison, Boyka allowed his desire to join the tournament, especially after he was badly injured. Nevertheless, Gaga refused it because he judged Boyka's condition of the knee, and said he was out. Because Boyka was eager to breathe freedom, he began to get used to himself and was eager to get his knee back so he could fight again. After this, he cut his hair and cut off his thick beard. A few days later, after defeating the current champion Vladimir Saikov, his opponent, in the last round of the prison tournament, Boyka threw water at the man and challenged him in a fight. Saikov, very angry because of Boyka's fierce move, immediately accepted the challenge. Boyka's fight with Saikov was short, and he quickly lost it, so he became the representative of Russia for the PSC event. The return to the ring and another taste of victory seemed to return to Boyka's fighting spirit, which had long been lost in the fight that made his name famous. Not long after, Boyka was transferred to Corgan prison in Georgia. He was accompanied by 8 other prison fighters from various countries who will fight in the PSC martial arts tournament. The fighters were then gathered and given the direction of Warden Kuz. The prison fighters who entered the tournament, aside from Boyka, were Krates from Croatia, Dupont from France, Mavros from Greece, Lamchai from North Korea, Silva from Brazil, Turbo from America, and Delore from Colombia. When they were sent to their cell, they saw officials cleaning up a large area in the prison that will become a battle arena. Meanwhile, in another place, Gaga and 2 other mobsters, Fernati and Rizzo, were discussing the issues of betting, where Rizzo insisted that they only bet on a fighter with the greatest potential to win, and this is Delore, who was also identified as one of Rizzo's main fighters. Nevertheless, Gaga, who was happy with Boyka's victory, and Fernati, who was happy with Turbo's victory, kept their mainstay fighters because they believed in Boyka and Turbo's ability to fight. The next day, the prison fighters were brought to the stone mining area, where the mobsters from other countries were forced to do heavy work under the watch of the guards, while Delore was just sitting and reading a book. It seems that other fighters are just being forced to train for an hour every day to prepare for the fight, and they still have to do heavy work in the rock quarry for a long time, while Delore has special treatment in his sparring session and is not allowed to do heavy work. While in the mine, Boyka had a fight with Turbo, who thought Boyka was just talking. When the fighters returned to the prison for an hour of training session, Dollar was approached by Kuz, who gave him performance-enhancing drugs. Not long after, the day of the tournament arrived. The crowd seemed excited and happy with the great amount of money to support their main fighters, who will really raise Gaga's income and that of other mafias. The first fight was Silva's fight against Mavros, who won. The next was Turbo's fight, who easily defeated Croatia's Krates, who let Fernati jump with joy when his fighter won. The fight continued, and this time Boyka would face a fighter from France named Dupont. He again scored a victory in the ring. And this time, Dmitry, the guards, and all the prisoners in Chornya Kolmy prison were supported by Boyka, and it seemed that he won the fight and advanced to the semifinals. The final battle was fought by Delore and Lamchai, where Delore quickly won his victory. Because of their victory, Boyka, Turbo, Delore and Silva advanced to the next round. Meanwhile, the defeated fighters quickly left there. Assuming that they would return to their country, Kus ordered his men to kill the fighters who did not make it to the semifinals. The next day, when the fighters returned to the quarry to do heavy work, Boyka had another argument to Turbo, who ended up in a fight, a reason for them to be thrown into a very tight cage. After being released because of their manipulation by Gaga and Fernati, Boyka and Turbo entrusted the forced labor they had to do, and Dolor's special treatment in the prison. After hearing about the treatment of their top fighters, the two mafia bosses went to Warden Kus' office. When they arrived, they met Rizzo, the PSC mastermind, who explained that the tournament is always held to ensure a high income at the lowest risk. The forced labor was done on purpose to physically weaken other fighters, so that Dolor would win the fight. Rizzo insisted that Gaga and Fernati cash out all their properties and put their shares in Dolor, who was sure to win, and Rizzo was guaranteed to get a double income. When they realized that their opponent was only up to their earnings, Gaga and Fernati agreed to this arrangement. Meanwhile, Boyka and Turbo fought again in the quarry. But after this, they also found common ground and eventually agreed. As time went by, Boyka and Turbo gradually trusted each other, and their attention was focused on defeating Dolor in the tournament. After knowing that the PSC tournament was arranged by the mafias who predicted who would win, Boyka and Turbo started working in the quarry as part of their training to increase their physical strength. One day, when Boyka picked up a big stone, Turbo realized that he had an injury to his knee. Then he gave it to a root of a medicinal plant that was believed to be able to alleviate the pain of his injury. Boyka, who saw the tattoo on Turbo's body, he asked about it. Turbo said that tattoo was inspired by his son and his daughter. When Turbo asked Boyka about his reason for fighting, he said that God gave him a gift through being the best fighter in the world, so he should fight and deserve to be honored. Meanwhile, in another place, it turns out that Gaga doubled the bet as per Rizzo's suggestion. In the semifinals, Boyka will face Silva. The fight was fierce between the two, but in the end, Boyka defeated Silva with a triangular headlock. After declaring victory and entitled to advance to the final round, Boyka helped Silva stand up and judged him for a good fight. But it didn't take long after that. Silva was also killed like other defeated fighters. When Boyka and Turbo realized that they were stronger than expected, Rizzo and Warden Kus made a plan and ordered the guards to beat Turbo. When he walked to his cell, Boyka was surprised to see Turbo was badly beaten. Meanwhile, Dolor confronted Boyka by insulting him, calling him the champion of the sewer, and threatened to kill Turbo in the semifinal fight. Even so, Boyka remained calm, did not respond to Dolor, and added part of his training, especially the rehabilitation of his knee. On the other hand, Dolor will also see that he is training hard for the upcoming fight. Boyka couldn't stand seeing Turbo struggling, forcing himself to train even though he was badly injured. The next day, when the guards brought him for the next round of hard labor, Boyka tried to convince Turbo to escape instead of facing Dolor in his state of injury. Because he knew that Turbo was a former soldier, Boyka made a plan to escape Turbo to the jungle, where security is easy and he can live a long time until he can finally join the black market. At first, Turbo did not agree. Even so, another inmate stated that the defeated fighters were being executed, so in the end, Turbo's mind changed and agreed. Boyka tried to break Turbo's chains, but he was caught by the guards, reason why they both have to fight the guards to get the key. After being released, Turbo immediately ran into the jungle, while Boyka was caught using weapons. After this, Boyka was immediately returned to the jungle, where he faced Rizzo, Warden Kus, and also Gaga, who confessed to him that he changed his bet, and that Dolor was being supported, which according to them was already a win. Because he knew that he no longer had support, Boyka promised to break Gagos and the Mafia's bet by defeating Dolor in the final round. In the next scene, the final battle began. Because Turbo was able to escape, Dolor went straight to the final round and will fight Boyka. The audience and the mobsters in this battle were excited, where almost all of them were happy with Dolor's victory. The battle between Dolor and Boyka became intense, where Dolor got the advantage using his very fast and powerful attack, which was added by his large body compared to Boyka. Because he knew that Boyka was severely injured, Dolor did not waste Boyka's chance to kick him. He kicked Boyka's knee and hit him hard. Dolor did not stop there and continued to attack Boyka's knee. When he lost his stamina and ability to kick, Boyka recovered and relied on his endurance and pain tolerance, while surviving some strong attacks by Dolor. When everyone thought that the battle between Boyka was over after he get out of the ring, Boyka, who caught a glimpse of the mop and bucket soaking up the blood after the fight, compared to what he used in his training, returned to the ring before the 10 count. After that, he took the pure blood pad from the mop and tied it to his knee. He started using a new style of mixing elements of grappling, dirty boxing, headbutts and elbows, wrestling, and wushu. In the end, Dolor was knocked down by a kick to his foot, and destroying Gagosed out, and everyone suspected that he would not win the battle. When he lose in his bet and lost a lot of money, Fernati was very angry and went to the prison warden's office. Afterward, he shot Rizzo, but Fernati was also shot by the warden. Despite winning the tournament, Boyka was not allowed to leave because the guards were not looking for Turbo. Because Boyka was responsible for Turbo's escape, Kuss said that Turbo would remain free while Boyka was transferred back to his original prison in Russia, where Boyka fled without his knowledge. Like other defeated fighters in the ring, Boyka would also be killed. But fortunately, Turbo saved him. Afterward, Boyka and Turbo headed to a car where Gaga was waiting inside. It turns out that Gaga did not follow Rizzo's order and instead doubled the stake in Boyka's victory. Gaga told Boyka that he already knew that Boyka was the best and strongest fighter in the world, especially when he was angry. That's why he invested all his money in Boyka's victory and robbed the other mobsters. Not only that, he also added it by saving and hiding Turbo from escaping. After this, Gaga gave Boyka a suitcase of money for his victory in the PSC tournament. Before separating, Boyka finally revealed his first name to Turbo as Yuri. On the other hand, Turbo also admitted that his real name was Jericho, when he did not realize that Boyka had special importance in religious references. As a thank you, Boyka thanked Turbo for freeing him. Afterward, Turbo challenged him in a fight someday and Boyka accepted the challenge. Finally, Boyka got out of the car and walked with a bag full of money towards freedom. And that's how the story ends. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you in the next movie. Thank you.